दिक्कालाद्यनवच्छिन्न अनन्तचिन्मात्रमूर्तये स्वानुभूत्येकमानाय नमः शान्ताय तेजसे. We have to start with Vidvat paddhati. So Murkha paddhati was done, 10 shlokas of that. And now he starts Vailakshanyena. Murkha paddhati Vailakshanyena Vidvat paddhati. So as a contrast, we want to know how intelligent people are. So the first shloka is शास्त्रोपस्कृत शब्द सुंदर गिरह शिष्य प्रतेयागमाः विख्याताः कवयो वसन्ति विषये यस्य प्रभोर्निर्धनाः तज्जाड्यं वसुधाधिपस्य सुधियः तु अर्थं विनापि ईश्वराः कुत्स्यास्युः कुपरीक्षकैः न मणयः यैः अर्घतः पातिताः. यस्य प्रभोः विषये कवयः निर्धनाः. यस्य प्रभोः विषये in the country, Vishayaha Nama Deshaha, in the country of a king whose, where people, where Kavayaha, poets, Kavayaha Nama, it's not only poets, you take it as both Shastrajnaha api. Yataha, if you look at the adjectives that he gives for the Kavi, it doesn't seem like a normal poet who writes couplets. That's not the poet that we are talking about. These are Shastra Upaskrita Shabda Sundara Giraha Shishya Pradeya Agamaha Vikhyataha Kavayaha Nirdhanaha Vasanti. In the country of a king where the poets or the intelligent people or scholars, we can take it as scholars here, where well-known learned people live in poverty. Then it speaks of the ruler's ignorance. Tat vasudhadipasya jadyam sudhiyaha tu artham vina api ishvaraha. Sudhiyaha, these intelligent people, are artham vina api, even without wealth, they are ishvaraha. They are like lords. Actually, they are rulers or they are masters even without wealth. It only shows the jadyam or the incompetence of the ruler or the ignorance of the ruler. Jadata nama buddhi jadyam, maudhyam. So it only shows that the ruler is a fool. So how are these poets? Shastra Upaskrita Shabda Sundara Giraha. They have words which are beautiful, Sundara Giraha, beautiful because of the Shabdam that they use. So here Giraha means speech, Shabda is the words. So their speech is very beautiful because of the words that they use. So Shabdena Athava Shabdaihi Shabdastu Atra Vyakarana Shuddha Shabda Upayogena Tesham Giraha Sundaraha Vartante. So the speech of the people, the intelligent people, the scholars, is beautiful because of the words that they use. Idila, I think in Shivalila Arnavam, Neelakanta Dikshita says, he says, Yaneva Shabdan Vayamalapamaha, Yaneva Charthan Vayamullikhamaha, Taireva Vinyasa Vishesha Gaurehi, Sammohayanti Jagatama. Jagan, last line, so the same words that we use, the same meaning that we want to highlight, a Kavi just places it in a few different, he has a different kind of an arrangement in his poetry, and he sammohayati jaganti iti. He completely mesmerizes the whole world with just a few different types of arrangements of the same words that we use, the same meaning that we want to convey also. Inga Shabdena Sundara Giraha, the words that he uses lend to a beautiful speech. And then not only that, Shastra Upaskrita Shabda, or you can take it as Shastra Upaskritaha Giraha as an adjective to Gihi. The speech is such that it is Upaskritam, it is decorated by Shastra. So, Shastra Anadhita Shastrasya na Kavitayam Praveshaha. Anadhita kavitayaha shastrena pravesha. A person cannot, you have to have both on hand. You have to have a little bit of shastram also. So my teacher would say, you first read kavyam on a very superficial basis for language. Then you get into Shastram. With that Shastram knowledge, you have to come back to Kavyam and study the Kavyam. That's when you understand the Gambhiryam of the Kavyam. Otherwise, it's difficult. So, Shastra Upaskrita Shabda Sundara Giraha Shastraihi Kanada Gautamiyadibihi Upaskritaha Alankritaha Giraha Vachaha. It goes as an adjective to Vak. The words which are decorated by Shastram, by scriptures, and the word which is also the speech which is also Manohara, which is Sundaram, which is beautiful because of the Shabda. Shabda here refers to Vyakarana, Shabda Shastra. So using Vyakaranam, the first word Shastra does not refer to Vyakarana Shastram, it just refers to other scriptures or other darshanas, philosophies, etc. Whatever scriptures that we have. So it is decorated by the knowledge of that Shastra, and it is also Vyakarana Shuddham. Tadrisha Giraha Yeshamte. Those poets who have such beautiful speech. Not only that they are capable of giving out poetry in this manner, they also know how to impart this knowledge to a Shishya. Shishya Pradeya Agamaha. Agama, their Agama, the knowledge that they have is such that it is fit to be given to Shishya. So Shishya Pradeyam nama Datum Yogyam iti. Atra Pradeyaha Viniyoga Arhaha. It is, or Vyakhyata, they are able to give it to Sakshat Patanena, they can give it also. So Pradeyam Nama, that which is capable of distributing to the Shishyas also. So the knowledge that they have is not just something that Jirnamange Subhashitam Mitivatan Asti. They don't keep it within themselves, but they spread it out to people. And then Pustakasta Tuya Vidya Parahasta Gatam Danam. ಕಾರ್ಯಕಾಲೇ ಸಮುತ್ಪನ್ನೆ ನಸಾ ವಿದ್ಯಾ ಅದಿಲ್ಲ ವ್ಯಯತಃ ವೃದ್ಧಿಮಾಯಾತಿ ಕ್ಷಯಮಾಯಾತಿ ಸಂಚಯಾತ್ ಅದು ಒಣ್ಣು ಅಲ್ಲ ವಿದ್ಯಾ ಇಸ್ ಸಚ್ ದಟ್ ಅಪೂರ್ವ ಕೋಪಿ ಕೋಶೋಯಂ ವಿದ್ಯತೆ ತವ ಭಾರತಿ ದ ಭಾರತಿ ಸರಸ್ವತಿ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಸಚ್ ಅನ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರೇಂಜ್ ಕೈಂಡ್ ಆಫ್ ಟ್ರೆಷರ್ ವಿತ್ ಯು. Saraswati has this wonderful treasure. Vyayataha vridhimayati. It increases when you spend. When you spend, your bank balance should be zero, right? No, the more you teach, the more you impart knowledge, the more you become more knowledgeable. Vyayataha vridhimayati. Kshayamayati sanchayati. If you keep it to yourself, then it gets destroyed within you. So many great people, if they are unable to be, spread that knowledge, then it becomes useless. It dies with them, right? So Shishya Pradeya Agamaha, those scholars who are also very knowledgeable because they have something that can be given to the students. And Vikhyataha, they are also famous. If such kavi, such poets or such scholars, Yasya Prabhoho Vishaye Nirdhanaha Vasanti, if they live in poverty, then that shows Vasudhadipasya Jadyam. It only shows the ignorance of the king because he did not recognize them and give them enough wealth. Sudhiyaha tu, but these intelligent people don't care about wealth at all. Artham vina api Ishwaraha, they are masters. They can rule the world even without wealth. So now he substantiates with this last sentence, Kutsyaha syuhu kuparikshakaihi na manayaha yaihi arghataha patitaha. Yaihi kuparikshakaihi manayaha arghataha patitaha te manayaha kutsyaha na syuhu. Manayaha, a gem, if it is kuparikshakaihi, if the examiner is a bad examiner, kuparikshakaihi, arghataha patitaha, they have been made to fall from their real worth. That is, they are valued less than what they are worth. Then it is the gem valuer who is to be blamed and not the gem itself. So yaihi kuparikshakaihi manayaha arghataha patitaha te eva kutsyaha natu manayaha. You can do the anvayam appadi varano illaya, because take this na manayaha at the end and take the yat padam with the te kutsyaha. So yaihi arghataha, inge eppadi avar anvayam pannirkar paakra. यैहि कुपरीक्षकैहि अत्र अस्ति खलु. सो यैहि कुपरीक्षकैहि रत्नशास्त्र परिज्ञान अभावात् कुत्सित परिज्ञानिभिः, those who do not have the knowledge of gems and they don't know how to analyze whether this is a good gem or not, तैहि मणयः अमूल्याः अपि अर्घतः मूल्यतः पातिताः. They have been valued less than what it is. Only te eva kutsyaha syuhu na syuhu iti manayaha na syuhu. It is not the gems that have to be kutsyam nama criticized. It is not the gems that have to be criticized, but it is the valuers who are to be blamed. Yeah. So alankaram enna potrukar, take it as arthantarnyasa. Ama. He doesn't say anything here. Atra tu arthantarnyasaha eva. Yeah. Shastropaskrita shabda sundara giraha shishya pradeyagamaha vikhyataha kavayaha vasanti vishaye yasya prabhoho nirdanaha tajjadyam vasudhadipasya sudhiyastvat artham vinapi ishvaraha kutsyasyuhu kuparikshakaihi namanayaha yaihi arghataf patitaha. Deshikarantu, he has written one set of 5 shlokas called Vairagya Panchakam. Adve enna, the point of that is where, you know, a king comes and asks him to do something, and then he says, even without that wealth, he spurned wealth, you know, he did not want that wealth, and he spent his whole time in his house performing whatever, you know, puja to Swami and everything. So he actually got a invitation to the king's court to as a court poet, but he refuses that wealth. He says, I don't have any interest in that wealth. This is na pitra arjitam nasti pitrarjitam dhanam kinchit na maya kinchid arjitam. Neither have I earned any wealth, nor do I have any ancestral wealth. Asti me hasti shailagre vastu paitamaham dhanam. Hasti shailagramங்கிறது அந்த அத்திவரதர் இருக்கு இல்லையா, அதை வச்சு சொல்லுவார். அந்த அத்திகிரிங்கிறது ஹஸ்தி சைலம். ஸோ ஹஸ்தி சைலாக்ரே பைதாமகம் தனம் வஸ்து அஸ்தி மே. I have an ancestral wealth that is standing on top of the Hastigiri. I don't need any other wealth, he would say. Madhuri, it's they artham vinapi ishvaraha iti. Hartur yati nagocharam kimapi sham pushnati yet sarvada. Idoda meter vandu shardula vikriditam. Yes, I think this one is also shardula vikriditam. Vrittam purvavat. Hartur yati nagocharam kimapisham pushnati yat sarvada sarvadapi arthibhyah pratipadyamanam prapnoti vriddhim param kalpanteshvapi na prayati nidhanam vidyakhyam antardhanam yesham tan prati. There is an extra kadayadanga. So prati manam ujjata nripaha kastaisaha spardhate. They have a wealth called Vidya Dhanam. These scholars, Vidvat paddhati na khalu. Tasmat atra tesham samipe tu Vidya nama dhanam vartate. Vidya nama narasya roopamadikam. Pinnadi innuru, that shloka is also going to come. So how is that dhanam? So he shows the difference between the wealth which is wealth of knowledge and the normal wealth that people hold, you know, the wealth that in the form of money or anything. Okay, so what is this learning wealth? Vidyakhyam dhanam antardhanam. It is a wealth that is present within. You don't need to go outside and earn, or it is not dependent on anything else. Hartuhu gocharam na yati. It does not come within the gocharam range of perception of a harta. Harta nama, a person who takes away. Hartuhu gocharam na yati. Harta nama choraha. someone who grabs, or you can take it as money lenders, not only choraha, choradehe ityuktam atra. So there can be a thief, there can be someone who has, maybe someone who wants to grab your wealth in the form of loan or high interest loans, and that loan shark la irukalla. So they are also, they are not direct thieves, but they use some kind of a contract or anything to get your wealth. So there can be many people who try to grab your wealth. So this wealth, vidya, it cannot be stolen, it cannot be touched by people like thieves or any loan sharks. Not only that, kimapi sham pushnati, kimapi anirvachaniyam sham pushnati, sham nama mangalam athava sukham. Sukham pushnati. It increases a kind of, it gives a lot of benefits for us in some way or the other. So, kimapi nama anirvachyam sham sarvada dadati. Sarvada nama kalatraye api. At all times, the moment you have knowledge is power. Knowledge is power because no one can cheat you. At that point, you know something. Only when you don't know something, that is when you are caught at the short end of the whole thing. So, kimapi sham pushnati. It increases benefits, and hence it also gives you sukham. Arthibhyaha pratipadyamanam anisham prapnoti vidhim param. Arthibhyaha sarvada arthibhyaha pratipadyamanam. Pratipadyamanam, something that is always gotten by people who seek. So it, or pratipadyamanam can mean it is always imparted, it is given to people who always seek. So money is not something, just because I want money, I go ask somebody for money, it is not sure whether they will give or not. But learning is something different. Usually 90%, since we are reading a Sanskritam text, and I have seen 99% of in my, but my guru and all, they have said there are people who don't impart knowledge, but that's a different era. But today, in today's world, usually Samskrita tu dakshinya guna yuktaha bhavanti. The moment you go and ask them, they will immediately give you. Adudanga. So arthibhyaha, if it is a person who comes asking for it, like shishya, pratipadyamanam, it is being given to those people, and anisham vriddhim param prapnoti, it also increases in the process. As I told you before, vyayataha vriddhimayati, when you start spending this learning, it increases when it is distributed to the seekers. So arthibhyaha pratipadyamanam, as it is being given to the seekers, anisham every day, param vriddhim prapnoti, it attains a great increase in the person who imparts that knowledge. Personal experience. Every time I teach, I see that there is a difference in the way, there is an increase. I feel there is an experience also which contributes to it. As you teach, you will know. Kalpanteshwapi na prayati nidhanam. Dhanam can get destroyed even at the end of kalpa. There is at some point or the other, normal wealth, Aishwaryam can get destroyed. So this is a Vyatireka Alankara here, completely. Okay? So kalpanteshu api, even at the end of kalpa, as you go into your next janma, this is going to be there in the form of a samskara for you. So vitta edathila pudipom. You will always resume from wherever you stopped. That's why certain people, even at the age of 5, they can quickly read. Adalla praktana janma vidya. Like how Parvati, as soon as she sat down in front of the Guru, all her earlier janma vidyas just came to her, it seems. Andamadri. So kalpanteshu api, even at the end of kalpa, nidhanam na prayati, it does not get destroyed at all, completely. So vidyakhyam antardhanam, this vidya, this antardhanam, this wealth that is there inside of us, called vidya, vidyakhyam, yesham tan prati, yesham vidyakhyam dhanam vartate, tan prati he nripaha manam ujjata. do not have an unnecessary pride towards these people who have knowledge as their only wealth, who have learning as their wealth, because that kind of wealth is completely different from the wealth that you have. So he is addressing the kings and saying, He nripaha, yesham vidyakhyam antardhanam vartate, tan prati, towards those scholars, manam ujjata, let go of your unnecessary pride. Kaha taihi saha spardhate, who can compete with them? So give up your arrogance towards them. Hartur yati na gocharam kimapisham pushnati yatsarvadaapyarthibhyah pratipadyamana manisham prapnoti vruddhim param kalpanteshwapi na prayati nidhanam vidyakhyam antardhanam yeshantan prati manamujjata nripaha kastaihi saha spardhate. Vyatireka alankara. So atra upamanat prasiddha dhanat. So upamanam is your prasiddha dhanam, famous, that is aishwaryam, wealth of some sort, money. Upamanat, upameyasya, upameyam is that which we are comparing, which is vidyadhanasya, adhikya katanat. We are saying that the object that is being described is better than the compared object, which is dhanam, the comparison, simile. So vyatireka alankara. Upamanad yadanyasya vyatirekasya eva saha iti kavya prakashakara lakshanat. Clear?
The upamanam is unsaid, right? Upameyam is said.
Ama. Yes. So upama, it is not a purna upama. It's not about the upamanam or anything of that sort. So it's just the word dhanam gives you, so antardhanam, not bahirdhanam. So there is a dhanam there. The word is there. Doesn't matter.
The comparison is implied. The superiority is implied. Right?
Yes. Yes. Yeah. Adhigata paramarthan panditan mavamamsthaha trinamiva lagu lakshmihi naivatan samrunadhi abhinava madarekha shyama gandasthalanam na bhavati bisatantur varanam varananam. This is a classic example of drishtanta alankara. So we'll see the meaning and then go into the drishtanta. Adhigata paramarthan panditan is again continuing to address the kings. From the earlier shloka you had He nripaha, atrapi He nripaha ityeva tatra vaktavyam. So panditan ma avamamsthaha tan lakshmihi trinam iva laghu lakshmihi tan naiva samrunadhi. So panditaha kidrishaha adhikata paramarthan. Those pandita, those learned people who have mastered the paramartha, the greatest truth, or they have attained the paramapurushartha. They only live for dharma, and dharmapurvakam yat vyaha arthaha prapyate tam artham swikritya kaman anubhavanti. Tatha, and they also work towards moksham. So for them, it is the purushartha that is much more important than going towards money alone. So dharmam becomes more important. You can take it in that manner also, paramartha. Or adhigata paramarthan can mean one who understands the true nature of each and everything in this world, the objects of the world. So those pandita who understand the paramartha, the truth behind everything intellectually, they know what is nityam and what is anityam. They understand it. So adhigata paramarthan panditan, scholars who understand the true nature of things in the world, adhigata. Ma avamamsthaha, do not think or do not disregard them. Avamanam ma kuru, avamanaya ma avamanaya. So ma avamamsthaha. Lunga mange lungdan idu. Namang yoge. Avamamsthaha irkano. That ang at is gone. So avamamsthaha ityeva vartate. Ava upasarga amamsthaha iti bhavitavyam. Is that clear? Correct then? Ama. So ma avamamsthaha. Do not do not disregard these scholars who know everything, who know what about the nature of the world, or they have a great knowledge about what is there in the world. And another thing also, you think you can bind them with the money that you have, but for them that money is like a blade of grass. Trinamiva, they think of Lakshmi as simple as or as nissaram, essenceless as a blade of grass. Trinamiva laghu lakshmihi. Laghu nama nissara lakshmihi. Lakshmihi here refers to tvadiya sampattihi, your wealth which is without any saram at all, and it is very laghu. It's like a small blade of grass. So trinamiva, like a grass, laghu lakshmihi, small wealth that you have, tana naiva samrunadhi, it cannot bind them completely. You cannot bind them using your wealth and say that okay, you are dependent on my wealth. Tatha bhavitum narhati. Then he compares it, or he gives a bimba pratibimba bhava with an example here. Varananam abhinava mada rekha shyama gandasthalanam varananam varanam bisatantuhu na bhavati. A soft stalk of lotus cannot be a varanam, cannot be something to tie down. A lotus fiber cannot stop elephants. Varananam Varanam na bhavati, it cannot stop or it cannot be an obstacle to elephants, whose gandasthala, whose cheeks are shyama, extremely dark, because of a fresh mother rekha, because of the, it is darkened with the marks of fresh mother jalam, fresh rut, which is, it is still in its youth. If it is in its youth, you need chains to tie it down. You cannot use lotus stalk or lotus fiber to tie it down. The same way, the scholars are also, you cannot touch them or tie them down with your wealth, because they have they have mastered the highest truth here. Yeah. So, atra drishtanta alankaraha yatra vakyadvaye bimba pratibimbata taya uchyate samanya dharmaha vakyajnaihi. When the samanya dharma is indicated by bimba pratibimba bhava. So how does it work? So the samanya dharma here is samana dharmam angaradu varanam. There is samrodhum naiva shaknoti. Avladha. Okay, mirror madri irukku. இந்த இடத்துல it is malini vrittam. Adhigata paramarthanu. சொல்லுங்க.
Samana dharmas should be different, right?
So samana dharmam inga eppadina anga literally tying down, anga it is making them dependent. Don't take it, you're not using a Lakshmi to tie physically like that. It is more like making them dependent or beholden, madri, feeling grateful about it.
And the nature of the bimba pratibimba is that
Yatha tatha is not there.
Yeah, that is true. But there's a reflection of one in the other, right?
So, bisatantuhu is Lakshmihi, laghu Lakshmihi, varananam panditanam. Not exactly a reflection that way. Apdi pathomna, it is not a, it's the idea which is reflected.
The idea is reflected, that's what I meant. The definition of a bimba pratibimba bhava is somewhat flexible, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
As long as there is no yattat to compare or eva to compare, then you go with bimba pratibimba bhava. Ambojini vanavihara vilasameva hamsasya hanti nitaram kupito vidhata natvasya dugdha jala bheda vidhau prasiddham vaidagdhya kirtim apahartum asau samartha. Simple shloka, it's an aprastuta prashamsa also, where he's talking about Brahma. Even Brahma cannot remove the expertise that is there in people. No, here he talks about the quality of a swan which can remove milk and water, which can separate milk and water if it is mixed together. So Brahma, if he is Chaturmukha Brahma, the creator, if he is angry, then he can probably destroy the house or the surrounding area, the ambience, the playground of a swan, but he cannot do anything to remove the expertise or the என்ன சொல்றது, the skill that the swan has, that is to remove milk from water, to separate milk from water. So ambojini vana vihara vilasameva hanti nitaram kupitaha vidhata. Vidhata Brahma or fate. Here Vidhi, Brahma, fate, all will be synonymous here. So you take it as the creator, Vidhata, Nitaram Kupitaha, when he is extremely angry, Hamsasya Ambojini Vanavihara Vilasameva Hanti. He only destroys, or he may rob the swan of its pleasure in playing vihara, in playing in the lotus pond, or ambojini vana, in the forest of lotuses. So it likes to play around or live around the lotus plants. So he might destroy the entire vanam, that's all, but he is incapable of removing that quality that it has. Natu asya hamsasya dugdha jala bheda vidhau prasiddham vaidagdhya kirtim apahartum asau natu samarthaha. So asau vidhata, the same Brahma, apahartum na samarthaha. So epume you take the na separately so that you don't forget it. So saha asau na samarthaha, he is incapable of removing, apahartum na samarthaha, the vaidagdhya kirtim, the fame that it has, asya hamsasya, the fame that it has with respect to its skill in the matter of bheda vidhi, in the matter of separating dugdha jala from dugdham and jalam. Clear? So ambojini vana vihara vilasameva hanti. Vilasam can mean it's the entertainment of playing in a lotus. Adamatram he can kill. He can kill by probably removing the entire lotus forest, and so the annapaksha, the swan cannot play anymore, but he cannot remove this quality, this prasiddham kirtim, this great fame that it has. Brahma cannot remove. So this becomes an aprastuta prashamsa as to how it applies to the prakrita vidvat paddhati. Evam, from here, evam kupitaha raja, a king, svavishaya vasadi bhanga matram eva kartum shaknoti. So if a king becomes angry, in the earlier sloka he said, right, don't ma avamam sthaha, don't disregard them. So if the king becomes angry, then what does he do? He destroys, he makes it impossible for the scholar to live in that country, right? So swa vishaye vasadi bhangamatram eva kartum shaknoti. He can only make it impossible for the person to not live in his country. You remember like Dilli, Tallaja, Pallava, and the idhula padichome, Gadya Sangrahatla, the Bhushana Kavi. He comes away from the Dilli Raja because he is unable to live in that sabha. He doesn't want to live there. And so he comes here. So the king can only destroy that. But he could not destroy the expertise of Bhushana Kavi. In Gadya Sangraham padcho. Natu tesham ashesha vidya parishilana janita chaturya bhangam kartum shaknoti. Kartum na shaknoti. It is not possible for the king to remove the chaturyam, the cleverness that they have attained by studying and accumulating knowledge. Ataha nishkopena bhavitavyam vidvatsu rajna iti tatparyam. So the tatparyam here is you have to be very nishkopena, very soft. You should not be angry towards a scholar here. Atra aprakrita vidhatra vrittanta kathanat. By saying the story of this non-contextual story of vidhata, that is Brahma and a swan, he is trying to indicate the prastutam, which is the context of prastuta raja vidvajjana pratiti. the play between a king and a Vidvat Vidwan, scholar. So Brahma, the creator, and Raja are compared. So when we hear the story of Brahma trying to destroy the house or the surroundings of a swan, we are reminded of the image of a king destroying the house and everything of a scholar. So the swan is like a scholar. He cannot destroy the kirti. In the same way here also, the king cannot destroy the expertise, the scholarliness that a scholar has. So, prastutena aprastuta pratitihi iti karanat aprastuta prashamsa alankara. Clear? Vayam kavayaha kasyapi ada. Ambojini vanavihara vilasameva hamsasya hanti nitaram kupito vidhata natvasya dugdha jalabheda vidhaus prasiddham vaidagdhya kirtim apahartum asau samartaha. And the next few shlokas we have read it in Neethi Chandrika, in Vichakshana itself. So I'll just go over this quickly. Keyurani na bhushayanti purusham hara na chandrojjalaha. Keyurani, Keyuram angarthu and the Angadam nale bhuja alankarana vastu. So in the vankingro and the madri irkla illana, it can also be like a shield kind of thing that the kings wear on their shoulder. So Keyurani na bhushayanti purusham. They don't decorate a person. Chandrojjwalaha haraha na. Necklaces which are as shining as Chandra, as the moon, they also do not adorn a person. Na snanam, not bath. Na vilepanam, not wearing chandanam. Vilepanam is any kind of anointing yourself with the vasana drapyam. Na kusumam, not flowers. Na alankritaha murdhajaha na bhushayanti purusham. Connect bhushayanti and purusham with everything here. Okay, so the alankritaha murdhajaha api purusham na bhushayanti. Even decked hair does not decorate, adorn a person. Eka vani ya vanyeka samalankaroti purusham ya samskrita dharyate. Ya vani samskrita dharyate. Samskrita sati dharyate. That speech which is Sanskritam. Sanskritam nama Shuddhi Kritam. Yeah.
Refined.
Vyakaranadi parishuddha sati dharyate. Dharyate nama swayatti kriyate ityartha. So that vani, the speech which is purified by vyakaranam and other things, and it is also dharyate means it is born abdingro. Adavadhu adu dharichindirukkunna enna artham? Swayatti kritam. Sa vani, that which is become completely, he has imbibed the whole speech and the words which are shuddham. So tatha bhuta vani eka eva purusham samalankaroti. It decorates a man. Kshiyante akhila bhushanani. All other normal ornaments will completely get destroyed. So every day you have to take a bath. Every day you have to wear ornaments. Then chandanam. All these things, the moment you take a bath, then all of these things go away. Your body has to be decorated. But this vani, speech, is not something that is going to go away, get destroyed and come back again tomorrow. Apdi illa. It's ever present in you as a sarvada satatam bhushanam vagbhushanam. This ornament of speech is an ornament that is ever present in oneself. Vyatireka alankara as to show the difference between normal. Here the Akhila Bhushanam is mentioned. In the earlier that Dhanam was not mentioned. Here Kshiyante Akhila Bhushanani. And the comparison saying that the Vidya Vani is better. Vani Bhushanam eva atra adhika rupataya pradarsyate iti karana tatra Vyatireka alankara. Okay. All of these are Shardula Vikriditam. Etadadi Sloka Chatushtayam Shardula Vikriditam. Next one is Vidya Nama Narasya Rupam Adhikam. Vidya Nama. Nama ityukte Vidya is called something that provides, something that which provides or rupam nama vidya eva ityapi vaktum shakyate la vidya narasya rupam adhikam rupam. It gives greater form or greater beauty to someone. So here vidya iti veda shastradi atmika vidya eva narasya pumsaha adhikam rupam ukta lakshana akara visheshaha. So it gives more beauty. Only vidya which is refined by Vedas and Shastras, which is a proper learning, that gives beauty to man. Prachanna guptam dhanam. It is a dhanam which is prachannam and guptam, nigudham. It is that which is a hidden and well guarded treasure. It also gives enjoyment. Vidya bhogakari, yashas sukhakari. It gives yashas, fame and sukham, happiness. Vidya gurunam guruhu. இங்க வேற என்ன போட்டிருக்காரு? தத்வத் காலாந்தரேஷு உபகாரகத்வாத் பிரச்சன்னம் குப்தம் தனம். It is like a wealth that is hidden and well protected. The well protected wealth is something, அதாவது இந்த ஸ்டாக் மார்க்கெட்ல போட்டு வச்சு, or it's like a index funds, something that will be useful later. If we want today, we cannot, illa FD madri, for 5 years I have put it inside, அந்த மாதிரி ஒரு வித்யாதனம் this is அப்படிங்கிறார். So காலாந்தரேஷு உபகாரகத்வாத், it is useful even in another at a different time also. So vidya bhogakari, srakchandanadi bhogyavastu labhahetuhu api bhavati. It's possible for us to attain this using our vidya also. So with the wealth we can attain objects that is used for enjoyment. அப்படி எடுத்துக்கலாம். Or you can get as much enjoyment by studying a kavyam, the same enjoyment that you receive by external objects also. அப்படியும் எடுத்துக்கலாம். Okay. Vidya bandhu jano videsha gurunam guruhu. It is the preceptor of teacher of all teachers. So bandhu janaha videsha gamane. Learning becomes a relative when you go elsewhere. With that you can any skill, any learning will be very useful when you go to another country. We all know that here. Vidya para devata. So it's the greatest among devatas. It's the supreme deity. Vidya rajasu pujyate nahi dhanam. Wealth is not being worshipped among kings. It is only money, it's only learning or knowledge that is venerated, looked upon with bahumanam, respect by kings. Vidya vihinaha pashuhu. A person without vidya is indeed an animal. So dhanam dravyam ukta prakaram na bhavati. So it's not possible for dhanam to be in the following manner. So you can say this is a mala rupakam. இந்த பாருங்க. So vidyayaha rupam dhanadi akarena bahudha nirupanat. So there is a superimposition. Vidya eva rupam, vidya eva dhanam. இல்லையா? विद्यानाम नरस्य रूपम, विद्यानाम रूपम भवति, विद्या एव धनम प्रच्छन्न गुप्तम धनम वर्तते, विद्या गुरुः वर्तते. So there is a superimposition of रूपादयः अत्र विद्यायाः उपरि तत्र आरोपः भवति. So it is a रूपका अलङ्कार. But since there is a mala and it is a it is not a continuous thing, which is, அதாவது எப்படி சொல்றது, இது நிரவயவ மாலா ரூபகம். அவயவம்னாலே it is a separate ரூபகம் that is there, but there are different ரூபகம்ஸ். So there is a mala kind of thing. It is like a garland which is garland of all different flowers. So not one flower is not connected with the other flower. அப்படி இல்லை. So if think of it as a garland of different flowers which are not an angam to another. So niravayava mala rupaka alankara. Clear இருக்கா? இந்த அலங்காரம் நான் முன்னாடி பார்க்கவே இல்லை. I don't think I went into this. வித்யாநாம நரஸ்ய ரூபமதிகம் பிரச்சன்ன குப்தம் தனம் வித்யா போககரி யசஸ் சுககரி வித்யா குருணாம் குருஹு வித்யா பந்துஜனோ விதேசகமனே வித்யா பரா தேவதா வித்யா ராஜசு பூஜ்யதே நஹி தனம் வித்யா விஹீனஹ பசுஹு. க்ஷாந்திச்சேத் கவச்சேன கிம். சரி, இது நெக்ஸ்ட் கிளாஸ் பண்ணுறேன். ஓகே.